Deciding to film just as the sun is going down is probably not the best idea, but we're just gonna have to deal with it. Well, hello there. I have not done this in a while, just talking to a camera by myself. I am a little bit rusty, but I really miss this, honestly. So I don't know if you guys remember me or if I'm just being melodramatic here, but hello, it's Mafalda. I haven't filmed a video in probably since August or July of last year when I was trying to come back to booktube and it just didn't work out. Honestly, I don't even know where to start. I kind of hate being one of those people that every few months is like, hey, I'm back, and then just never post again. So I'm gonna try and not say that I'm back. But with that being said, I'm happy to be doing this again. I just miss this. I miss filming. I miss editing, to be honest. I miss sharing my thoughts on books because I haven't done that in a really long time. So yeah, I really miss this, and I feel like now it's the perfect time to come back, I guess. So I just want this video to be kind of a life update of where I've been and what my relationship with books is like now, because I have a lot of thoughts on that. And then we can continue with the scheduled programming of book videos. So yeah, if you're not interested in hearing me ramble about my life and about books, you can just skip this video, I guess. But if you're interested, you can continue on. So 2022 was a year. It already happened and it was really something. I felt like I had my best and worst moments in the same year, and it was just so weird and mixed, and I feel like that really reflected on my reading year as well, because I fell into probably my worst reading slump of my life, and it was just like that throughout the whole year. And it was just because I was still adapting. At the beginning of the year, I was still adapting to my part-time job, because in the later half of 2020, when I got a job in retail working part-time, and I was still adapting to that. And at the same time, last year, like you saw, I think in my last video that I posted, I moved out of my parents' house for the first time. And so that was also something that I was trying to adapt to last year. So it was working part-time in weird hours that I'm gonna talk about later, and also just living with another person, living with my boyfriend and moving out. And that whole process was very stressful and time-consuming, and honestly, it was just a lot. And so for the first half of the year, I was trying to adapt to those changes, and because of that, I just did not feel like reading at all. Even though I felt that and I knew that in my heart, I still tried to push myself to read as much as I could. Because I had set a goal of 100 books at the beginning of 2022, I just felt kind of forced to read books to reach that goal, and I basically spent the whole year trying to keep up with that goal, always a couple of books behind, and trying to read short things just so I could get to that goal. I was just reading to read and to reach a certain goal, and I just really wasn't enjoying myself. I really wasn't enjoying the books that I was reading. I knew that I was in a reading slump, but I just didn't feel like I could be in a reading slump because I had the 100 book goal to reach by the end of the year, you know? And so I just spent the whole year forcing myself to read, which is not great, because you're supposed to read because you like reading and because it brings you happiness. And reading has been such a big part of my life for I don't know how many years, but especially in the years since I started my Bookstagram and my booktube channel, like those things, like reading and books, became part of my identity to the point where I just thought I was that. And because last year I just didn't feel like reading, I didn't feel like picking up a book, and I was just forcing myself to do it, I was just honestly questioning my whole identity, because I was like, if my identity is reading and books and all of that world, if I don't enjoy it anymore, is this still a part of my identity? Do I still like reading? I was just questioning my whole self, to be honest. And I know I'm in my 20s and it's a part of that, but I just felt so lost last year, honestly, in terms of identity and who I am and what I'm doing here. I just felt really lost, and books were a big part of that, but also other things in my life. And as a result of that, I also didn't feel like coming back to booktube. I kind of tried to make videos, especially in the beginning of the year, but then it just kind of all fell through and I just wasn't liking what I posted. I honestly, except for like 2 videos, which are not even book related, which was my moving vlog and my Disneyland vlog, I don't remember anything else that I posted last year because I was just like trying to make content and trying to be active, but I wasn't feeling it, honestly. I just didn't like what I was posting. And I didn't want to talk about books, so why was I even making videos? So at some point I just stopped making videos. But to be honest, all throughout the time that I was away from booktube, I just missed this so much. I love making videos, I love editing, I love posting content and sharing it with you guys and seeing the comments. Booktube has been such a core part of my life for I don't even know how many years, because even before I started making videos, I was watching booktube content from so many creators. I think I started watching it in 2011 or something. So it's been such a big part of my life. And when I started making videos, I fell in love with booktube even more, and it brought me so much happiness that I was just like, the fact that I'm in a reading slump is gonna make me lose this part of myself that I love so much, with this booktube and also Bookstagram as an extension. And just like the whole book community is something that I cherish so much, and it makes me so happy. And I was sad that I was losing this because I wasn't reading and I wasn't enjoying reading. Yeah, it was really sad. Last year was really sad in terms of that. I just didn't feel like I also had a creative outlet, because obviously this is a creative outlet for me. And I just felt sad and lost, basically. Great. But in the time that I was away, and I was thinking of how much I miss YouTube and posting and everything, and I was even thinking of just doing regular vlogs, not book related, and just other things, because I just love YouTube so much. There was always one thing that held me back, and it's that there was a time especially in 2020 and 2021 where I was posting really regularly, and I felt like I was really growing a community and I was gaining subscribers every week, and my channel was just growing so much and a lot of people were paying attention. And then in 2021 I was so tired and just fed up of posting 2 times a week. I was just like mentally exhausted. There's a word for that, burnout. I was burned out, and I just had to stop for a few months. And then when I came back, it was never the same. And that has held me back from coming back or stopping. Even last year when I stopped making videos, I was afraid of this again. And so the fact that I will never be as successful as I was in 2020 and 2021 is something that has held me back. But honestly, I'm just not here for that. Obviously, it was great that I was able to grow a significant community in here and that people were paying attention to the stuff that I was posting, but I was not making content just for views and likes and comments and subscribers, you know? I was making this because I actually enjoyed it and I just wanted to share my love for books. That has held me back for some reason, and I just don't want it to hold me back anymore. So I'm just gonna come back, and even though not a lot of people may be here anymore because I have a lot of old subscribers probably, I'm still gonna post and I'm still gonna do what I want. I just feel like that's a lousy excuse not to come back to YouTube. If I love doing this, it shouldn't hold me back that not a lot of people are watching it. I'm doing this for me because it brings me tons of happiness, honestly, and so I shouldn't even care if people are watching. So yeah, I'm not gonna let that hold me back anymore. I don't care that I'm not growing as much as I was back in the day. It just doesn't matter anymore. Anyway, continuing with the life updates. At the end of 2022, a few months ago only, I got my first full-time job. I had been searching for a full-time job that was more aligned with what I studied for a really long time. Honestly, I was kind of losing hope because I was sending out CVs every single day for I don't know how many months, but then an opportunity came along and it was great. And I took it, and actually, fun fact, I only got that job, well, I think I only got that job because in my CV, I had my booktube channel listed as kind of like a personal project of mine. And actually, the person that was hiring was super intrigued by my booktube channel and checked out my videos, which is weird. But yeah, they actually really liked my CV and considered me for the job because of my creativity on my booktube channel. And I was just like, oh my god, can't believe I put that there just on a whim, honestly, just to show that I knew video editing, and it paid off, honestly. So yeah, glad I did that. But yeah, I got my first full-time job and I quit my part-time job, obviously. And I was just thinking, if with my part-time job I didn't have time for anything, how will I ever have time for my hobbies again with a full-time job? And I was really worried about that. I knew that it was going to be great for my future taking the job, but I was just really hesitant because I was afraid of losing more time and not having time for myself and just feeling kind of trapped. But the difference that I soon realized once I started my full-time job was that my part-time job was really limiting because it was a part-time job at night. So I would usually start work at 6 and then end at 11 at night, and then I would come home. And my part-time job was in retail, and so it was a very physically demanding job. I was up for hours, for 5 hours every day, and just running around, and it was just so physically demanding that I was getting home super tired, my back hurt all the time, and I was just like physically done, honestly. And also because I was working at night, I was working non-conventional hours, and I didn't realize how much that affected me until I got my full-time job working a normal 9-to-5 job, because it just gives you so much structure. That's what I didn't have when I was working part-time. I was waking up late and also going to bed late because I was getting home late, and I just didn't do anything all day because I was kind of waiting to go to work at 5 or 6, and I just didn't feel like I had any structure in my day. I was just like waking up and then waiting to go to work and going to work and then coming back exhausted and going to bed late and then waking up late the next day, and there was just like this every single day. And now working a full-time job, I just have so much structure to my day, and I just feel like I'm a lot more organized with my day and with the things that I had to do. And I wake up early, I go to work, and I work from home, so it's great. If I have a little time to kill, I'll just read a chapter of my book or something, and then I get off of work and I just have the whole night to myself, and I can do whatever I want. And I usually go to bed a little bit earlier than I used to, and I wake up earlier as well, and it just gives me so much structure to have a conventional day like everyone has. And also before, because I was working at night and my boyfriend works during the day, we kind of wouldn't see each other when he got off of work. I would go into work, and so the only time that we had to like spend time with each other would be on the weekends in the morning or on my days off at night, and it was just a very limited time. And so when I had that extra time to myself, I guess, I would spend it with him, obviously, because I just didn't see him otherwise. Okay, so the light outside was almost out, so I had to turn on the light in here. But as I was saying, maybe it doesn't make sense to everyone, but it makes sense to me that even though I'm working more hours now, technically, I feel like I have more time just for myself and my hobbies. I honestly don't know how some people have a booktube channel where they post regularly. They work a full-time job, they have time for their hobbies, obviously for reading, for example, and they also sometimes have kids and a family to provide. And I just don't know how people do it all. Maybe one day I'll get there, but now I'm just grateful that I have time for my job and for my hobbies and to just like have a life, I guess. So now where am I with reading and with this channel and everything? So ever since I started my full-time job, I have been slowly getting back into reading. Every night after dinner, I take 1 or 2 hours and I sit in this chair actually, and I just read, and it's so nice. Sometimes I even put like a fireplace on my TV and just like get cozy, and it's just so nice because before that, I didn't do that at all with my part-time job, and just now it feels so relaxing before going to bed, just reading for a couple of hours. And I just honestly have been enjoying reading. I've been enjoying the things I'm reading, and I'm just excited every day to go and pick up my book and sit in this chair and read. I'm not forcing myself to read to fit a certain number of books in a month. I'm just reading because I want to, and I'm just honestly slowly falling back in love with reading, and it's just been making me so happy. I haven't been reading obviously the same amount of books that I was reading every month in like 2020 and 2021, where I was reading like crazy. I've just been taking my precious time with every single book that I'm reading, and it's just been so good. Even though I'm not reading as much, I'm just enjoying the books better, I think. And so this year I also decided to lower my goal, my yearly goal. I usually put 100 books, and last year I was trying to keep up with it and it was really hard. I eventually hit 100 books somehow, but it was really hard and I just wasn't enjoying it. So this year I decided to lower it to 75 books, which is still kind of a high goal. I almost put 50 books instead of 75, but I just decided to do 75 on a whim, and if I feel like I'm not going to reach it, I'll lower it, and that's okay. But yeah, 75 is my goal for this year, and I feel good about that. And since I'm falling back in love with reading, I obviously miss the feeling of sharing what I thought about a book with people online. I just miss that so much. I miss the sense of community that we have when we talk about a book that we all liked or disliked or anything. I miss sharing my love of reading. And so because of that, I wanted to start posting on here again. So that's why I'm here, basically. Long video to say that. I also started posting to Instagram more recently and more regularly. But honestly, I just don't feel like that's my platform. I just don't feel connected to Instagram for some reason. Sometimes I'm really obsessed with it and I post a ton and I'm just seeing everything. And then I just kind of like forget about it for a couple of days and I just feel like that's not my platform. So yeah, YouTube is my platform and I wanted to come back if you guys let me. And something that I started doing last year, like I mentioned earlier, was posting more personal content that had nothing to do with books, and I love doing that. And even though I still want to share bookish content, I also want to start posting more personal content and some like travel vlogs and just like regular vlogs of my life. And yeah, so I'm gonna start doing that. I hope that's okay. I just want to kind of mix bookish content with personal life content, and yeah, I hope you guys don't mind with that. But other than that, what can you expect from me in terms of bookish content? I don't want to do TBRs. That's something that I will definitely not do, but I miss doing reading vlogs, and especially like long reading vlogs with a theme. That's something that I didn't do that much on my channel, but every time I did it, I was just so happy with the result. I did one when I was reading my least favorite books. That was a long time ago, but I love that video. And I also did one with storygraph recommendations, if I'm not mistaken, and I also loved that video. And I just loved the process of making those long type of themed vlogs, and I want to start doing that again. I honestly don't have ideas, and I feel like everyone's doing this now, but I will try to be original, I guess. I also really miss doing the Come Book Shopping With Me series that I had on my channel. I thought that was really fun. I just didn't have any other ideas for more online stores that I could try, but I honestly have to search better because there probably are a million out there. So that's something else that I want to continue doing. And I also really want to do kind of a wrap-up video or a favorites video, some kind of video where I just talk about the books that I've been reading and maybe some other things like shows I've been watching and stuff. I used to do that at the beginning of my channel. I used to do favorites videos every month. I feel like every month is not really sustainable for me, but I could start doing just like recent reads or something like that along those lines. So yeah, that's also something that I want to do. But yeah, I guess that's that. Also some personal videos that may pop up here and there, maybe travel vlogs and all of that. So that's what you can expect from me. Honestly, 2023 is looking a lot more promising than 2022 was at the start of the year. I have a lot of fun things planned and I'm just really looking forward to this year. I feel like my life is a lot more put together and organized this year, and I'm just really happy and glad about that. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to start creating content again. And I hope you guys are still there watching me, hopefully. If so, thank you so much for sticking around, and I will see you guys hopefully on my next video. Bye!